spine, daddy. Octomom spine, daddy. Ghost, sister. A ghost is. If I check if I want there. George, yes, a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to the Nation Podcast. My name is Yakubo Mofoyewa. As you all know, the Nation Podcast. I hope you guys have not missed me so much. Quite a while that we've had enough time to discuss about what's trending and what is going on around the world. Yeah, so let's keep it going. Today's episode, I'm going to be talking about parenting is all about. I'm sure majority of you, either you are a parent or you are an aspiring parent or you are currently in the phase of parenting. So if you are one of those, if you happen to be one of this bracket, definitely this podcast is meant for you. Yeah, have you ever wondered this kind of this distractions that comes around when your kid is actually asking for your attention? Well, yeah, you're not alone, trust me. I feel this is what discussing about, this is what sharing thought about. Yeah, I feel sometimes a little bit frustrated, especially when you are in the middle of very important things and your kid just really needs your attention and kept calling you and kept asking about their own attention, what they require from you. So being a father, I feel this is quite a responsibility, and I feel this is quite something that needs attention about. It is normal when having a kid to have this kind of distractions. There will always be question and questions, revisions, and there was a particular book I read about the whole brain child. The Whole Brain Child was by Dr. J. Siegel and Dr. Tina Pine-Brayson. They talked about different ways of raising kids and the scientific way of the brain with intellectual development, emotional development, and effective parenting approaches. This book is quite a very interesting book to read about, especially when you are in the midst of being a parent or trying to raise kids. Yeah, it also focuses on the helping kids with integration, making neural connection between different areas of the brain as they work to make sense of their emotions and thoughts. Yeah, so if you are currently a parent, I would recommend that book. Please try to read or listen to that book. I actually listened to it in my audiobook. Yeah, I listened to that in my audiobook. According to one of the things I learned from this book is reflective listening. Very important as a parent to have this sort of a listening here, especially when your kid kept asking you different questions that you really have to give an answer, whether you want to, you just have to. Yeah, so it is one of those ways to make them grow and to make them have somebody that always gives them a response to what they need to know, because you can see kids are actually every day they acquire knowledge. So it is a requirement for somebody, especially the parents, to provide this information for them, whether it is what they need to know, whether or not. You just have to be in this position of giving them a feedback. Yeah, another thing I feel which is also very important is compromise. Yeah, of course, kid will always want to ask and keep asking to know their limits. So you also have to have some guide to know when there is a need for them to put a break or to have some kind of cap to what they are meant to have, and that's where compromise comes in. So yeah, as a parent, it is very important to also give some kind of compromise. Sacrifice, yes, of course. If you can listen to the beginning of the audio, so if you're in the middle of a presentation, your kid will definitely come and meet you. If you're in the middle of meetings, if you're in the middle of conversation with your partner, your kid will always come around to come and listen to you and come and seek your attention. Yeah, you have to sacrifice one or two things along the line. Another thing is, clearly, respectively communicating your own desire. Yeah, sometimes you just have to be clear and respectively give your communication to your child or your children, just because the more you do that, the better it is for them to also have this dignity of clear and respectively communicating with people around them. So yeah, also what is also important is negotiation. So just like what I said in the issue of sacrifice, it also boils down to negotiation. You should, as a parent, negotiating many in different folds comes in. As a parent, you have to also learn that, okay, as my child, he wants this, he wants that, you look for what is best for him or her and try to negotiate with him. So if I give you this, do you want that, or which one? You have to choose one out of them. So most of these techniques works for them, because if you just keep giving them everything, then you're just gonna have to, like, at one point in your life, you just realize that your kids want everything in this life, which is not an ideal way of raising a child. And also another important aspect is the social media involvement, the social media exposure of your children. Nowadays, social media, it's really affecting the way kids think. So as a parent, it is your responsibility to actually monitor what your kids should listen and watch. One of the techniques I do is I use what is called the Google Family Link. Just you can easily download this application on your phone to be able to monitor and be able to restrict some access of your child into, for instance, YouTube videos, because there are a lot of YouTube content that is not suitable for your child, especially content that you can filter, content that makes your child to be able to learn, and filter some content that you do not want your child to watch. So once you download the application, just go to your kids device, then add it to this family link. Then you can be able to know what your child is watching and be able to filter what your child should see online. I hope this helps as well. Finally, what I will want to say is forgiveness. So forgiveness is also something very crucial for parenting. Child will always want to cross the line. It will always want to break the rules. They will always want to do above their limit. As a parent, it is quite important to give some kind of forgiveness mindset to your children. So what I will also recommend is giving the chance for your children to be creative, and also sometimes you can also seek their opinions. You will be surprised when you, at their early ages, you try to give them chances to give opinions. It gives them this kind of sense of belonging, that they actually have to contribute something into a discussion or into a matter or into things that need their attention, and this gives them kind of expand brain. That is one of the things I want to discuss with you regarding parenting. If you have a comment, if you have an observation, please drop this in the comment section of this podcast. Just have a discussion about it. As an African man, what is it to raising children as an African compared to raising children in abroad? I know it is quite something very important to discuss about. Raising a child in Africa is totally a different scenario than raising a children in abroad. For instance, in Africa, you can easily punish your child if he or she misbehaves, but here in abroad, you have to be careful in the way you punish your child, especially spanking or using some kind of a tool to beat the child. It is quite illegal here in abroad. So these are all the things that we need as a parent to be aware of, especially as an African man raising a child abroad. Moving on to all the fans in the US. I'll be in the US this week. If you want to link up, especially in Maryland or Pennsylvania, it's going to be a good idea to meet with my fans. I'm very much aware that a lot of people in the US listen to our podcast. So you can always link up with me. You can just write in the comment to do a meetup. Also from my German fans, of course, there are so many artists coming this summer to Germany. I think last time my Mayor Kun was there. I think in May, Mayor Kun was there. I was also there at the Mayor Kun's live show. I think Burna Boy is also coming. There are a couple of artists I think Flavor is coming next week. I think a couple of artists are coming. I can't remember a lot of them. So just if you are in Germany or if you are in Europe, just Google or you go on Facebook. You can also go on bolingo.com. You can see some artists coming on in Germany so that you can view some of the events, upcoming events for African shows. These are what I want to discuss today. I hope you guys learn from this. To also give your opinion if you have one in the comment section. As I said earlier, I'm looking forward to talk to you guys next time. I hope you had a nice day. See you around. Thank you. Bye.
Dad, no.